This video will help you with activity 4.2 number 3. And looking at, now this part can be created utilizing, in the activity they say utilizing only additive procedures and then utilizing only subtractive procedures. So for this video, since in the first one I kind of showed you two different ways of doing it, I'm going to let you kind of decide. I'm going to show you the way that I kind of handle it, and it's utilizing mainly subtractive features in order to create this particular part. So I'm going to end up creating this L-shaped profile. I always like to take off from the front view, and from here I'm going to create a new part. Here I'm going to go back to the English template, standard IPT, inch IPT, start the new sketch on the XY plane, and then I typically like to, I'm going to click in the rectangle tool, kind of draw this in. And then I could also utilize, this is one part I could show you, utilizing the trim tool, some of the modify tools in order to help create this particular part. So trim, I can trim away this part and this piece, but I'm still constrained to the origin for what we have. 3.5 by 2.5 tall, so I'm going to get the overall dimensions kind of established, and that should help me with getting some of the major geometry kind of lined out, and then go back in and get some of the minor features. So it looks like from the size of these 1 inch by 1 inch on each one of these particular kind of pieces of this L shape. So 1 inch there, and then width here will be 1 inch. Finish the sketch and say extrude, and on the extrusion we'll end up looking at having looks like 2.5. Say OK. Now one of the aspects that can happen here is you kind of notice the orientation of this. And if you want to change the orientation, you can rotate to the view cube. So this would be what the orientation would look like to match what's in the document. So what you can do here is you can hit the little drop down arrow next to the view cube, say set current view as home, fit to view, and then what you can do is take a look at clicking on the left side of this cube and then saying set current view as front. And then that way it'll change your view cube there. So this will be top, front, and right side. This is not typically, it's kind of interesting that this is in this orientation, but it does give a good opportunity for you to show you how to change the orientation of an object in Inventor. So I'm going to take a look at creating this little square extrusion, which I'm going to do a cut feature on, 1.5 by 1 inch away from the edge, and 0.5 in width. So I'm going to click Start 2D Sketch, click on this face, choose the rectangle tool, kind of draw it in, utilizing some of the aspects of the geometry that's already been created. We can start looking at shaping this particular aspect or this feature of the model. Finish the sketch, extrude, click on that, say cut. If you want to say through all, it'll size it up to how through the material, and you say OK, and this finishes out that first one there. The second one, same kind of procedure. So start 2D sketch, click on the rectangle tool, drawing this shape. And looks like we're 0.5 from the edge, 0.5 tall, 1.5 wide, so very similar dimensions we were working with from earlier as far as the size of the notch, and 0.5 on the height. Say extrude, choose the option, distance all, and most of the time when it says to go through all, it'll automatically change it to a cut option for you. You say OK, and there would finish out your particular part there in inches. So this is finishing out number 3 on activity 4.2.